Welcome to TzuChi This Week. I'm Dennis Wu. It's good to have you with us. TzuChi's disaster survey team in Christchurch, New Zealand, continues to visit emergency shelters to understand quake survivors' needs. Xiangzhi TzuChi recycling station in Fujian, China, was started by a woman in memory of her deceased husband. We tell you its story. And in our On This Day feature, we go to the Dominican Republic to recap TzuChi's work in the Caribbean country. On Tuesday, February 22nd, a 6.3 magnitude quake struck Christchurch, New Zealand, toppling buildings and claiming lives. As the rescue effort continued, TzuChi volunteers from Auckland arrived on Thursday to help with the backup relief work. Currently, everything is being handled by the government, but the volunteers continue to meet with officials to let them know about TzuChi's direct approach. There are no TzuChi volunteers in Christchurch, but the local Chinese community is eager to provide TzuChi with necessary assistance. On their second day in Christchurch, New Zealand, TzuChi volunteers from Auckland continue to visit emergency shelters housing earthquake victims to understand how they can be of service. The arduous journey would not have been possible without the help of local overseas Taiwanese acting as guides.
This is a perfect opportunity for us to get to know local Chinese people. When they saw the variety of our relief supplies, they were all quite surprised. They were all very willing to volunteer should we hold any activities here. We are delighted because we don't have an office here, but there is a group of enthusiastic and compassionate people here, and we have quickly organized them together.
Currently, there are no TzuChi volunteers in Christchurch. However, a group of Good Samaritans are being organized. Back in Auckland, local TzuChi volunteers are working hard to back them up.
The people here are full of love. Some who didn't have any cash went to withdraw money from the ATMs. They asked us who we were and whether we would return the next day. The adults also told their children to make donations.
On Saturday, February 26, the Auckland TzuChi chapter was set to hold 2 more blessing ceremonies to pray for victims of Tuesday's 6.3 magnitude quake. Although there are not many TzuChi volunteers in New Zealand, they will continue to do their best to tend to those in need. We go from New Zealand to China for our next story. This week we have been bringing you a series of profiles on volunteers at TzuChi's recycling stations in Fujian province. The Xiangzhi station in the Shishi city area is on a piece of land owned by a local resident, Xiangzhi. She was introduced to TzuChi and the Dai TV channel by a relative. And after her husband died, she decided to open an environmental station on an empty plot of land by her home in memory to him. Now the station is a popular gathering place for local people who come to do their part for charity and the environment.
Reporting for duty at the environmental station every day, Wang Ah-chun says she has overcome a long-term illness among the recyclables.
I volunteer every day and afterwards I feel very relaxed. Before I couldn't see clearly. Master Zheng Yan's teachings helped me see again. I come day and night and now my eyes are much better.
The remarkable change happened here at TzuChi's environmental station in Xiangzhi village in eastern China. The small and crowded collection point is in Xiangzhi's home.
I knew about the environment by watching Dai TV. A relative wanted to recycle but didn't have anywhere to go. I talked with my husband and we decided to offer this place.
However, Chou's husband was ill at the time and soon passed away. Yet the heartbroken wife did not forget her husband's wish.
Just over 10 days after my husband died, we started recycling here. At first, there were some problems, but they only made me more determined. I prayed to the Buddha and Master Zheng Yan to keep going so recycling could carry on. I was very committed to it.
Xiangzhi's determination slowly persuaded her neighbors to join the effort, and gradually 1 turned into 10 and 10 into 100 as everyone caught the recycling bug.
Recycling is great. It transforms our heart, changes our ways, and protects our planet. Where there is love, there is happiness. And where there's a will, there's a way. If we keep it up, everyone will be comfortable and happy. It would be such a shame to stop.
With a common desire to clean up the environment and cleanse their hearts, this little community recycling station is showing what people can do when they put their minds to it.
We now go to Malaysia's Sungai Petani to meet the Zans under Tzu Chi's care. The financially troubled family makes only $4 a day and has a slightly mentally challenged son who was born with polio to care for. Still, they work together and try hard to be the one lending a helping hand instead.
I believe that since the heaven gave me this child, I should accept him as he is. When I gave birth to him, I really felt so much thankfulness to God.
Each day in Malaysia's Sungai Petani, Lin Yueling can be seen pushing her wheelchair-bound son, who suffers from polio, to school and back. The love that she has for her son is apparent in both her words and actions. On the way, if Lin sees any recyclables, she immediately picks them up. Recycling is something that Lin started following her introduction to Tzu Chi. Lin's husband was injured in a car accident in 2009 and temporarily unable to work. Following a friend's introduction, they became Tzu Chi care recipients. However, neither of them took this help for granted, but continued to look for other work. After finding some odd jobs, the couple decided to stop receiving the subsidy after only the second installment.
Personally, I wish that I'm the one who is giving to others, not for others to give to me. I was so moved when I received this money, moved to tears in fact.
Tzu Chi volunteers were moved by the couple's sense of responsibility and independence. However, after a few visits, it was clear the family's income was still insufficient to meet living expenses. Therefore, the volunteers decided to continue giving the aid until the family finds firmer financial footing.
喜欢我来吗？喜欢吗？喜欢。趁这个机会能够听到一句妈妈我很爱你哇，妈咪很感动了哈。好不好嘞？
Lin's mentally challenged son, Zan Wenxian, finds it difficult to use words to express his love, but in his actions, his love for his mother is clear. The couple is presently working at home doing odd jobs. Wenxian willingly shares the burden, helping his parents with their work when he comes home from school.
Before, whenever I would show up, he would refuse to look at me, or he would go to his room and not come out. Now things are much better. We're slowly learning to interact with each other.
Under the loving care of Tzu Chi volunteers, Wenxian is learning not only to communicate with others, but also do good deeds. He now takes a portion of the money his mother gives him and deposits it in his bamboo coin bank. Caring for her handicapped child has made Lin sympathetic to the plight of others. During the busyness of preparing for the Chinese New Year holidays, Lin also finds time to make 168 rose biscuits for the Central Kedah Tzu Association for Disabled People.
知道吗？啊，像妈妈这样有毅力、坚强，好，知道吗？
Where there is heart, there is happiness. Where there is willingness, there is power. With the help of Tzu Chi volunteers, the Zan family is sure to find blessings and be on its own 2 feet in no time. To show support for the 55th UN Commission on the Status of Women, which opened in New York this week, Tzu Chi's UN Working Group organized a side meeting where senior Tzu Chi volunteers from Durban, South Africa, share the success story of local vocational training centers that empower Zulu women.
On a crisp, windy, bone-chilling day on the east coast of the United States, the 2011 Commission on the Status of Women opened February 22nd at the UN in New York. On the same day, the Tzu Chi UN group organized a panel workshop on breaking the cycle of poverty of women and girls through education and training, which attracted 120 participants.
Good morning, everybody. Good. This is good. Really appreciate everybody coming over here. This workshop is hosted by Buddha Tzu Chi Foundation. Zulu sisters, Zulu commissioners, share their woman in power, how successful they are.
South African volunteers Gladys Ngema and Tola Kaylee Mkhize talked about the success story of Tzu Chi's vocational training centres in Durban and how manufacturing and selling handmade accessories and clothes had helped empower African women.
We're making this for churches. We're making school uniforms taught by Tzu Chi. We get money. We're able to feed those orphans. We're taking care of more than 5,000 orphans.
We've got 5,000 volunteers in different places. We feed children, but they are very hungry. They just get meals twice a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Good sisters who were motivating me. I must thank them very much because it was the first time I met so many people in different countries like this. People, they will say I've done very well. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of Tzu Chi Foundation, what they did to me.
Apart from the South African volunteers, the Tzu Chi UN team invited 3 other speakers at the workshop, including Ellen Al-Dakar, a UNHCR official in Malaysia.
3 generations, grandparents, parents, children have never had any access to school.
Food for the Poor improved the assets of 1,475 women, and basically that's when we start building the homes with these women and families.
The good-natured 90-minute meeting was an eye-opening experience for many of the participants.
People who have come here today hearing about Tzu Chi's work for the first time, to get started, to take action, and to make to turn many of these dreams into realities.
Skillfully laced together by the charismatic chairperson, the various components of the workshop conveyed Tzu Chi's determination to alleviate suffering wherever it might be.
Located in the Bayview Hunters Point area in San Francisco, the Bret Hart Elementary School recently enjoyed a Tzu Chi Spring celebration, organized by volunteers, who also prepared a delicious feast for the teachers. One of the educators, who was a donating member of Tzu Chi, said it was exactly the NGO's warmth and commitment to local communities that moved him to join as a donor.
Thank you so much. Delicious food, especially prepared for teachers at the Bret Hart Elementary School in San Francisco, is Tzu Chi volunteers' way of saying Happy Year of the Rabbit to the hardworking educators.
We have so much chemistry.
One of the teachers, Mr. Klein, is a donating member of the Tzu Chi Foundation. He says he was inspired to do so because of Tzu Chi's contribution to local schools, such as giving children free tuitions.
When they came into John Muir School, it was around 2007. And they were giving like they always give, and they were helping. And I was a little skeptical. I said, what do they want from me, and why are they doing this? But they never asked anything. And she still believes. She's young and optimistic, and I'm going to show her what a real organization is and explain where the money goes and the good things they do.
At the Tzu Chi Spring Festival held for the school, students take home with them the NGO's famed Wisdom and Blessings red envelopes and reciprocate by donating to the charity collection boxes, thus propagating the circle of love.
On this day, the 26th of February, located in the U.S. state of Arizona, the Grand Canyon is a geographically historical site with 2-billion-year-old rocks in the walls of the canyon. The nature reserve did not achieve national park status until this day in 1919. In 1979, UNESCO declared the Grand Canyon as a World Heritage Site. After Japan's colonial rule ended in Taiwan in 1945, on this day in 1947, the national language movement was launched to eradicate the usage of Japanese and other regional dialects, making Mandarin Chinese the official written and spoken language of Taiwan. In the 1980s, with the rise of native language consciousness, Taiwanese was taught in schools and is now a core subject in the country's mandatory compulsory education. Launched in 1950, Taiwan's labor insurance was the country's first social welfare program, insuring workers against ordinary accidents or occupational injuries. The program also expanded later to include more benefits. In 2008, Taiwan implemented the labor insurance pension plan to further protect the rights of the island's blue-collar workforce. As one of Taiwan's 10 major construction projects, the Taoyuan International Airport was opened on this day in 1979. It was one of the most modern airports in Asia at the time. Previously known as Chiang Kai-shek Airport, the facility changed to its current name in 2006. After Hurricane George caused heavy damage in the Dominican Republic in 1998, Tzu Chi dispatched aid workers and supplies to help affected people. On this day in 1999, with the support of US Tzu Chi volunteers and local Taiwanese entrepreneurs, the Tzu Chi Dominican Republic Liaison Office was established, becoming the first Tzu Chi contact point in the Caribbean. The pride of the Taipei Zoo, Asian elephant Lin Wang, passed away at the age of 86 on this day in 2003. He was the longest living elephant in captivity. Lin Wang was also the first taxidermic specimen of an elephant made in Taiwan and currently stands as the largest Asian elephant specimen in the world. On this day in 2005, the popular shopping complex Golden Plaza opposite the Taichung train station in central Taiwan went up in flames. Helicopters were dispatched to airlift besieged victims. A Tzu Chi service station was soon set up nearby to provide hot food for the aid workers, while volunteers helped clean away the debris and comforted the distraught fire victims.
As we just saw on this day in February 26, 1999, Tzu Chi founded its liaison office in the Dominican Republic, the first in the Caribbean region. Tzu Chi's charity work in the country began after Hurricane George, a destructive cyclone that lashed through the Dominican Republic in 1998, wreaking havoc in its path. In the aftermath of the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan and the United States worked together to bring relief to the storm victims. In 2010, after the Great Haiti earthquake, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Dominican Republic took charge of the purchasing and shipping of relief supplies to be sent to Haiti. Even though there were only a handful of local volunteers, they worked together seamlessly and accomplished their demanding relief mission. Now that the Tzu Chi Liaison Office in the Caribbean country has reached its 12th year, volunteers look back to their experience in humanitarian aid work with gratitude and look on to the future with even more enthusiasm.
Setting aside their hectic work schedule, 33 reporters and editors from Listing Diario sit down for a conservation talk with Tzu Chi volunteers. Founded in 1889, Listing Diario is the oldest and one of the largest newspapers in the Dominican Republic. As for Tzu Chi, it has just celebrated its 12th year in the Caribbean country. Listing Diario has long been a supporter of Tzu Chi by writing stories about the NGO's charity commitments in the Dominican Republic. The newspaper office workers have also been saving money in their own Tzu Chi coin banks. Non-biodegradable PET bottles, however, have been turned into tote bags, blankets and clothes, each tagged with a label indicating the number of bottles used. In caring for the planet, Tzu Chi has succeeded in transforming waste into practical items, a feat that impressed the hard-nosed media workers.
We are very honored to have Tzu Chi and Listing Diario today to talk about environmental issues. Listing Diario is a strong supporter of Tzu Chi's work and will continue to champion its cause, especially in areas of conservation.
At the Tzu Chi Spring Blessing Ceremony, amateur models showcased the NGO's eco-friendly line of clothing. Before, the Tzu Chi Liaison Office only had one sample, but thanks to a Chinese businessman, more has been purchased from Taiwan. More Dominicans are showing their support of the Taiwanese NGO, like the shipping magnate who was here to collect a second Tzu Chi coin bank. He made Tzu Chi after the 2010 Haiti earthquake.
When he saw how selfless Tzu Chi volunteers were in their humanitarian assistance to Haiti, he decided to give a discount on all of Tzu Chi's shipping needs. He also joined as a donating member. Moreover, he comes to our gatherings and also has our coin banks.
The earthquake stranded Haiti from all outside help. Its closest neighbor, the Dominican Republic, served as the access point into the shaken country, importing foreign aid supplies and humanitarian workers.
Heaven is where lots of bodhisattvas come pouring in from all over the world, united to help with the disaster relief in Haiti. We bought 5 tons of rice and 3 tons of kidney beans for Tzu Chi's first large-scale distribution in Haiti. If these relief supplies hadn't arrived on time, we would not have been able to carry out the aid relief. Volunteers in the DR made every effort to overcome the impossible. We solved the challenges one by one as we went along.
The Spanish-speaking Tzu Chi volunteers from the DR worked together like a dream, each contributing their talent and time to purchase and deliver the much-needed relief items into the hands of quake survivors in Haiti.
Everyone worked really hard back then. That was when the Tzu Chi Liaison Office was 11 years old. During the month of quake relief in Haiti, I could feel a kind of profound dedication of our core volunteers.
Going back to 1998, Hurricane George compelled Taiwanese entrepreneurs in the DR to contribute their love. On February 26, 1999, the opening of the Tzu Chi Liaison Office in the Caribbean nation broke new ground in the local charity landscape. The Dominican Republic, which once wrestled with its own disaster, stood back up to become a strong support for its troubled neighbor. In the Caribbean paradise, Tzu Chi volunteers actively work to help the needy by fueling hope with their love.
At the end of today's program, we travel to Penang, Malaysia, where members of a local Muslim NGO, the Penang Research Center in Social Economy, visited a local Tzu Chi office to learn more about the Buddhist charity and how to organize their own activities. That's all the time we have for. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.